Welcome,
Tony is gonna
welcome.
welcome to the Wellness Hour. Marvinetta has to step out. She has a meeting, and we are going to have so much fun today. Who's on the Galaxy Tab One?
That's
Galaxy
me,
Tab A.
Jessica.
Oh, okay,
That's
cool.
me, Eric. Yeah. Hi, everyone.
Hey, girl. Hey, Ari. How you
Hey.
doing?
Okay, I'm looking bad to show my face, honey. So far.
Oh gosh.
No, I'm
Look,
not. I'm
I
not
woke
doing
up like this. I
okay.
woke up like this.
I know, right?
From you, Tony. That's my neighbor, Ari.
Oh, great, great. Hi, neighbor.
Hi. I hadn't made a chance to make it, so thank goodness I put this on my calendar and I'm able to join you today.
Right.
Yay! We're gonna get started. Tony is gonna start us off with the grounding, but this is the wellness hour. We meet every Saturday at noon, and we talk about emotional, spiritual, physical, mental wellness, and relationship wellness. So the whole gamut. We have a wonderful show lined up today, and Tony, take it away with a grounding.
Okay, well, I'd like for everyone that's joining us just to kind of do some slow breathing, just to relax yourself. That way we can absorb and open our minds and heart and spirit to just absorb the information that's actually put out here for you as an individual. Sometimes we don't always hear what the other person hears. It's what opening ourselves up to receive what it is that the universe wants us to hear. Okay? So we're going to start out with taking in some air, release it for 7 seconds. Okay, so
In
your air.
one, two, three, four, five, six, seven.
Release.
Hold. One, two, three, four, five, three, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven.
Okay. Again, one more time.
Count. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Hold. One, two, three, four, five.
Then
Release.
release.
One, two, three, four, five, six, seven.
Shake it off. Okay. Well,
Woo!
gosh, how do you feel? Everybody feel okay? A little bit
I
better?
feel so much better. Yeah.
Okay.
I got
Well,
to I got to meditate this morning. I feel so much better.
well, you're already amazing. So,
Yeah.
so Jessica, you want to start us off, or would you like me to get started?
Sure, go ahead and introduce yourself and then I'll introduce myself and go into our first topic.
Okay, great. Well, I'm Tony Gallatin. I'm a certified life coach and health and wellness coach, just an all-around coach, just providing for people information that I've researched and lived uh, all my life to arrive at the place where I am now, and realizing that my calling truly was to assist God's people on this earth to become their best selves with joy and peace and zero stress.
Yes. I'm just going to say a little bit about Marvinetta. She had to step away because she had a conflicting meeting to come up and bump this hour out of the slot, but she is actually the host of this. Marvinetta is the CEO and the founder of Global Girls Inc., an organization that serves young ladies from the ages of 7 to 17. She exposes girls to theater, dancing, the performing arts, and she takes these girls around the world. And this service is totally free to the participants. And it is amazing. I've seen these girls do a rendition of Hamilton that is amazing. If you want to see a snippet, visit my Instagram page at the Loveliest Woman, and you'll see it. You can go to Global Girls Inc. and see it. So it's fabulous. Marvinette is a fabulous talent doing wonderful things. And she also have a flagship play called My Vagina, My Voice. So that's just a little bit about Marvinetta and her organization. More about me, Jessica Matthews. I am Jessica Matthews, the resilience coach. People probably know me as a love coach, but I am the resilience coach. Resilience in love, resilience in life, resilience in your career. Because what do we need more than anything? You can do the thing, but without resilience, you will not last. You will fall off to the wayside and wither away. So that's why I love being a resilience coach. I've been doing this work for, Ari, could you mute yourself? We've been doing this work for about, I've been doing this work for about 4 years now, and I absolutely love it. I was born and raised on the south side of Chicago in West Pullman. I am one of 8 children. I'm number 5. And a little fun fact about me is that I got 150 of my family members to tour the White House post 9/11 during our family reunion. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That was a feat. I'm going to tell you that. 150 people at one time in the White House. Unprecedented. So I want to talk about the very first topic. Who in their life wants to know about how to transition out of a lonely life? If you lived a life without being lonely, what would that actually give you? What would that give others? What would that give the world if we all lived a life without loneliness? This is a topic that I'm so excited about, especially in the coronavirus age of us dealing with this. We may sometimes feel like we're lonely, and somebody could be sitting next to us or in the house with us. So we have all of these wonderful family members and we live alone, but somehow we may feel lonely because of certain conditions. And this coronavirus has given me so much life. And one of the things I got out of this was my cousin gave me a call. My cousin is a retired first responder. He was the captain on the Chicago Fire Department. He calls me, he goes, "Jessica, hey, how's it going?" I was like, "I'm doing well." He said, "Oh man, this virus is just doing all of these things to people. And I got this idea from my friend who lives on the West Coast. He lives in California, and he did this phone tree to keep in contact with his family to make sure that his family is okay. So we've been calling people to make sure family members are okay." And he said, "I started calling people, and I found out that one of our family members is in the hospital, and they believe she has COVID." I'm like, "Oh, no." He was like, "Yeah." He said, "So what I want you to do is I want you to be one of the family coordinators and start calling people in your area, family members, to make sure they're okay. Do they need something? Do they need the grocery store, medicine, whatever? Call them, make sure they are okay, and get back with me." He said, "I'm setting up all of these coordinators so we can make sure our family is okay and we're all." I was like, okay, so I'm gonna start calling people, and do you have this? Is everything okay? And we were just caring for one another. That's what I got out of this. I got to, when you begin to care for other people, the feeling of a lonely life melts away because we were all connected. I started calling my cousins and family members to find out how they were doing. Do you know, I learned stuff I had never known about family members. We had wonderful conversations, and we were talking about what we're going to do after the virus was over, and we were laughing. And I was like, it was fun. And it was just so much connection, and because I cared. And I was calling to care. And there was one elderly family member, I talked to her. She didn't want to admit that she had an accident. But I didn't ask her. I knew she had one. I didn't ask her. I let her keep her dignity. And I cared for her the entire time. Do you need anything? Are you okay? And she was like, I'm just so appreciative that you called me. And we talked for a very long time. And that just went on. But the care that I was able to extend to family members made me feel better. It gave me so much life. And I just felt so connected and happy to hear people's voices and to see how people were doing. Our family is so grateful to report that my cousin, she successfully kicked COVID-19. She was getting oxygen and she's well and she's alive. And we are so grateful because some families have gotten a different result. But the care that was put into just thinking about one another, making sure we had basic needs was unbelievable. So that's the one thing I wanted you to take away from this. To rid yourself of a lonely life, begin to care more for others and reach out, because that care will give you more than you've ever expected. I know it did for me. Tony, that is my topic. She's going to take it away.
Okay, well,
with the next.
Thank you so much, Jessica. That was beautiful. So that helped me to kind of parlay into my next topic. I was trying to decide which order I would go in, but I decided to go with emotional health and sort of, reiterate some of the great things that Jessica said. Keep those things on your mind. But some of the things I was thinking with emotional health, we have to take time out to give to ourselves what it is that we need. We're here with all of our loved ones if we're lucky or blessed, but we matter as well, and we have to take time out to take a nice long bath, pamper yourself, read a book, go online, study something you've always wanted to study, look into things on a regular basis that bring you joy, something that is motivating to you. Listen to some positive affirmations every day, because with everything that's going on in the world now, all the negativity, we're hearing all the conspiracy theories, we're hearing the facts, we're hearing some things that are not true. But that can create a lot of anxiety and emotional instability if you allow it to just pull on you. So you have to take time out, because we can't block out everything that's in the media, and we want to be aware of what's happening, but yet we don't want to become consumed with what is happening, because some of it may be true and some of it may not. But you have to make sure every day you are feeding into yourself positive things. And like I said, if you can come up with 5 mantras that will help assist you and remind you that you are God's child, and that whatever come what may, you're going to make it through this, and your family's going to make it through this. And those that do not make it through, understanding that they've completed their journey here on this earth, and focus in on all the amazing things that they brought you while they were here, because now their journey is completed and there's nothing can be done about that. But you can take all those wonderful, amazing things that they brought to you while they were here and focus on that, and that will give you peace and acceptance as to what has happened. So we have to just take time out for ourselves, and love on ourselves. I mean, love on ourselves, and forgive ourselves, and be patient with ourselves, and focus on those things that we can control right now. Just focus on that, because that's what it's really all about. What you have the power to change, what you have the power to control, not what you can't. Because what you can't control, you can't control. But you can control your thoughts, you can control how you feel, how you're processing this thing, and be about the business of working on yourself emotionally, where you are assisting yourself in being better and finding joy and gratitude in what it is that you do have. The fact that you have enough food and toilet paper in the house, the fact that you are there, if you're fortunate, with your loved ones and giving you time to express how you feel about them, um, giving you time to express even how you feel about yourself by taking time out to maybe exercise, meditate, listen to positive affirmations, write your own, and figure out what it is that you're going to do once you leave the confines of our homes. So that's pretty much it for that. Just love on yourself and love on those that are around you, and feed your mind with things that are positive and not just so much of the negativity that's going on right now. So thank you
Tony, I
guys.
love that. I love that.
You're up.
Yeah. I love that feed your mind thing and feed people around you, because that is so necessary for us to feed, just not only to just feed ourselves, but to feed other people. And how this like what is, share with me like one practice that you could give us to do, so we can take away what take away today where we can feed others. Like, what is one thing that you would give us to do or suggest we do?
Well, when it comes to your mind to give someone a compliment or accolade or just express your love for them, I advise everyone to act on it right then and there. Act on it right then.
Wonderful.
Because we get so busy with our own lives and our thought process become so consumed with this and that. We need to act on it right then and there. You know, sometimes you think to call someone and then you just go about your business and not call them. And then eventually, after about 3 or 4 weeks, they called you and you said, you know, I was going to call you. I was thinking about calling you. Or sometimes,
Nice.
like earlier today, I was, my niece lives with me, and she is one of the most amazing young ladies I've known. And I, you know, minus any shortcomings, we all have those, but I was thinking to myself how proud I am of her and what she stands for as a young woman. And I have to tell her, my mom lives with me. Sometimes I think, man, I'm in my room and I'm thinking, oh, I'm so thankful that my mom is here. I'm so happy that she's here and I can be instrumental in making her safe and sound and happy. And so she'll sometime walk out of the bathroom and I'll just grab her and hug her up and tell her how much I love her. And you'd be surprised how that helps individuals to just feel. You don't know how they're feeling because we're not in their head, so we don't know how they're feeling that day. But if it's on our spirit to say to them something positive or wonderful, then do it right then and there, because that may be the time to change and shift their emotions into something better, into feeling better.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much, Tony. I love this next topic, but before we get into it, I want you guys to lean back, lean back, lean back, lean back, lean back, lean back.
Okay, I'm leaning.
I love that song, Lean Back. You guys remember that, Joe? That song, that's right. Instead of leaning back, in order for you to strengthen love, because that's what we're going to talk about, instead of leaning back, I want you to lean in. Lean into love. And I was able to lean into love just a few weeks ago. This one particular man has been chasing me for more than 10 years. I've been running from this. Running from this man. And before he moved out of the country, he said, Jessica, he said, you know, in life, you might find somebody who loves you and have everything you need and is willing to do everything for you. But if you're not willing to give that person a chance, you can lose that person forever and never get that person back, and there's nothing you can do about it. And he was talking. He said, Jessica, you are age discriminating against me. I said, yes, I am. And if you were 20 years younger, I'd give you run for your money. and we talked some more, and I told him, I said, you know, you're a wonderful man. and he moved and everything. Fast forward 2 years, he's been away for 2 years, but we stay in contact and everything. And he called me out of the blue. He called me out of nowhere and was like, "Hey, Jessica, how you doing? How's everything going? I'm just checking on you, and I'm out here quarantined in this country, and you came to mind. The Spirit told me to call you." And I was just wondering, were you still in the looking for love? He said it in a very nice way, roundabout way. And 2 days before he called me, I had wrote something saying that I wanted to really focus in on my romantic love life and get really serious about that, because that's something that I really want. And out of nowhere, this man calls me because I leaned in. I leaned into what I really wanted, and I stopped denying it and putting it off and put it in the back burner because I thought other things was more important. And out of nowhere, this man called me and was like, "I think we should give this a shot." And he was like, "But I just don't want it to be me chasing you. I want you to be in it. I want you to be a part of this." I was like, "Okay." Now keep in mind, this guy is much older than me. There's an age difference. And I was like, okay. I was like, I'm going to lean in. I was like, okay, I'm going to stop age discriminating against you.
That's right.
And I said, "I've always thought that you were a wonderful man." And I told him, I was like, "To be honest, you are the man I would have picked out of all of the guys I've met. You are one of few that I would have said yes to." And I said, and I'm going to stop and I'm going to lean in. And that leaning in has created so much space in my life. And that has actually strengthened my ability to love. And that love can translate all over the place. And that's what I want to leave you with. I'm going to leave you with one practice to lean in every day. One thing that you can do to lean in every day to strengthen love is something that you have been resistant to in terms of love. I want you to say yes to one thing every day, or it can be the same thing that you say yes to that you have been resisting in love. Say yes to it every single day by taking an action to open yourself up to it. And that's exactly what I did with him. I took an action by saying yes to him. I got vulnerable. I told him what I was actually feeling, and I told him I thought that he was a wonderful man, and that, yeah, we can try, to see how things are going to go. And there's no expectations, but we both are leaning into the possibility to strengthen love. So excited!
Oh, I'm excited for you, Jessica. So how much older is he?
Oh,
Talk to me. Do tell.
He's a couple years younger than my parents.
Okay. Love is love.
I don't know I haven't actually counted, but if I had to count, it would be more than my fingers and toes together. Okay, I'm sure.
Yeah, I got that 20. I got that 20-year thing that you said. I picked up on that one. But you know what? I'm excited for you, and to being a love specialist like yourself, when love is love, and
yeah.
You have to lean in, like you said, lean in and push through and be happy in that way, because that's one thing that we all need, is to feel appreciated and wanted and have that connection, and especially male-female connection, romantic connection. And it makes us whole as a woman, I think. It completes us as a woman. Not that we can't be whole as a woman without it, but I tell you, it's icing on the cake when you have it, and someone is there for you 110%, and you're there for them. And I say, embrace it, Jessica, and go for it. I am happy for you. This is
Thank
someone
you.
that you know very well, and you know that you are safe.
He's a wonderful man, I must say. I mean, this guy, when I say he literally checks off every single box,
Man.
I mean, he literally checks off every single box. The only thing that is the barrier is his age. He literally checks off every single box.
Well,
and he's been around for years.
Ooh, how exciting is that? Like I said, he's not going to just be the one chasing now. He wants you to be in it. So make up your mind and jump in with both feet. Right?
Lean in.
Yeah. So I'm going to go on with my next topic. And this is a doozy, very important to me. And that's the physical health. Physical health. We can look at the fact that, okay, we had the example of Georgia is opening up. Georgia is opening up. They're going to open up the hair salons and the bowling alleys and the massage parlors and all the things that's up close and personal. We as a people, you know, a majority of Georgia and Atlanta is a people of color. We have to be wise. And so just because they're opening these places up, we cannot subject ourselves to getting sick. All right. We still have to pull back and say, hey, I'm going to have to do my own doggone hair. I'm going to have to slick it back. Okay. Slick it back. I'm going to have to get some clippers, cut my own hair. I'm going to have to put some color in my own hair. I am going to have my sister, whoever, assist me in stitching this weave in, okay? Or this is a time to really condition your hair and grow it out as natural as possible. We want to always be so impressive to other people and putting our own selves at risk. It's not important to break out. We have to decide, I'm not going to break out and be out here and put myself at risk, or possibly putting someone at risk that is in my household that has any pre-existing conditions. And, this is a time now, stay in the house, chill out, exercise, figure you out a routine, go online, pull a routine off of line that suits you, your age, your athletic ability, that you can do for you. Because even if you're in the house and you're not physically fit, let's say you're not physically fit, you're maybe a little bit heavier than you need to be, or some people may be a lot heavier than they need to be. Some people, because of them holding excess weight, they may have heart conditions, or they may have pre-diabetic or diabetic. This is now the time to turn that stuff around, cook for yourself. Don't keep going out just because the drive-throughs are open. Go there to get this fast food with all these artificial additives in it and preservatives that the body finds to be completely foreign. So it does nothing with it other than store it and turn it into fat and make you unhealthy. This is the time now to turn some things around. You have control over what you go to the store and buy. Buy more whole foods, fruits, vegetables, tons of green stuff. If you eat meat, grass-fed or grain-fed meat, and prepare your food. I mean, we don't have access to anything else. We have access to the internet. Start looking into what it is you can do as far as changing your diet for the betterment of yourself. Don't be so quick. I saw something on the internet the other day, and it was a viral video, and you guys may have seen it, but it was a young lady. I guess the guy in the drive-thru was being rude. So she took his food and rubbed it all on the floor, picked it up, put the mayo on it, and fixed it up. So the guy that was recording it, he was like so excited and thought that was the coolest thing. And she was so proud of herself. She had her long hair weave, and she was like, yeah, and we're like, you should be arrested. She should be arrested. You don't do that to people. So I'm always kind of paranoid about stuff like that, so I tend to not eat fast food. Anytime you know, there's sometime with these fast food places, you have a certain mentality that's there. It's like, I'm here because I got to be here. I'm just trying to make a living or whatever. And they don't have, and they're young, and they don't have any self-discipline. They don't have empathy developed in their thought process right now. They will do anything. And you're going to subject yourself to, first of all, bacteria off the floor and all these artificial additives and all these preservatives that the body does not recognize. So therefore, it just pushes it to the side and stores it to fat. It's like, okay, I don't know what to do with this crap. What is this? I'll just put that on a booty, or I'll put that on the lower stomach. I'm gonna put that on our back, or his lower stomach, or whatever, or at the top of the stomach. So when you eat a lot of things that fast foods, processed foods, things like that, that's not good for you, they will store as fat. And when you have too much fat on your body, too much weight on the body, what it does, it compromises your organs, your liver, your kidneys, your spleen, and all of that. It compromises it because it's squeezing it. It's squeezing and packing in there around your organs. Therefore, you don't get the blood flow that you deserve. So when you don't get the blood flow to all these organs and different parts of the body, they can slowly start to die off. Which brings me to another thing. Eating too much sugar is just as bad as it's more addictive than heroin. And people are dying from consuming so much sugar. Did you know that a regular Pepsi probably has 50% sugar in a Pepsi? 50%. There's a reason why this stuff is so addictive.
What does that mean, 50%? How many grams of sugar?
Oh gosh, it's probably, I haven't done the measurements, but it's probably well over maybe like 1,200 grams of sugar or something like that. When you really it's like a whole lot. And you really should have,
So a gram of sugar is like how many cups?
A gram of sugar is how many? It's a gram. It is, you should only have maybe, I think it's like anywhere from 36 to 50 grams a day. So you look at the content on different things, and it'll tell you this has X amount of grams of sugar, or the percentage of this particular item is sugar, and it's X amount of grams. That's you can look on the actual ingredients, and they hide sugar.
So instead of 30 grams, you're doing 1,200 grams with one beverage.
Yes.
Wow.
And then people think, oh, I'm going to go and get a diet soda, just as bad, because the body recognizes it still as sugar, and the pancreas does not want to mess with it. After years and years of consuming diet products or just a bunch of sugar, it will shut down, and that's when people become diabetic or pre-diabetic, because the pancreas decides not to kick out any insulin to break the sugars down in the body. Therefore, once the sugar is not broken down, it starts to crystallize in the bloodstream, and that's why the blood doesn't get to the toes or the feet, and it ends up dying off, and they have to have amputation. Okay, so that sweet tooth can lead to a sugar foot, and you end up without toes. Yes, it's serious, and that's why with the coronavirus they say, oh yeah, such a large percentage in the Black community is dying. Well, there's a large percentage of people in the Black community that we have obesity running rampant. We have lack of insurance, lack of economic, development in our neighborhoods. Therefore, we don't have certain resources to get out and do things. And we have accepted as a race of people that, guess what? Sugar run in my family. Sugar don't run in your family. You just run with your family in the same habits that your family has. Sugar don't run in your family. I had a client came to me one time and she said, girl, I finally got my diabetes. Your diabetes? Why is it your diabetes? Girl, well, everybody in my family had diabetes. Doctor finally told me I finally got my diabetes. I said, you know what? That's a problem right there. You just accepted your fate. That's not your diabetes. You don't have to have diabetes. If you are type 1, which is only 2% of the cases of diabetes, type 1, which you are actually born with it. Okay? Uh, all type 2 is what 98% of the cases of type 2 diabetes. That can be controlled. That's lifestyle. That's lifestyle. It can be controlled through exercise and eating right, eating more plant-based foods, losing the percentage of fat off the body, and not compromising your organs anymore. You can do something about that. It's not yours. The only thing you share with your family, which is hereditary, is eating the same type of diet and having the same type of lifestyle where you don't exercise, and everybody's into eat all your food off your plate. No, you eat 70% or 80% full, and then you put the rest away. And what's wrong with just not putting a lot of food on the plate, and you won't feel like you're wasting it? And another thing in our neighborhoods, we tend to guilt people. It's like you got a whole family full of chubbier people, and that's how it's been. And then that one decides, I'm going to do something about my life. I'm going to do something about my weight. So they start exercising and trying to eat right, and the rest of the people in the family sabotage them by saying, who do you think you are? You think you're better than us? Girl, you know we used to eat that whole lemon meringue pack. Quit playing. So we guilt trip the one that's trying to do it. So it's hard. And those that are trying to do it feel like, oh gosh, I'm going to be pushed aside, or I won't be welcome if I don't join in and eat the same way that my family's eating. But the life you save gonna have to be your own, because you as an individual can only save yourself. So I just want to push. Let's use this time to become more healthier. We can do it. We can end a lot of that habits that we have. We don't have to go out and get a bunch of cakes and pies and donuts and ice cream and all those things anymore. We can really take time out and cook for ourselves and stay away from those fast food restaurants, because you don't know what you're getting. And cook for yourself and do some exercise every day. Make it a point to become healthier. And thank you so much. Jessica, take it away.
Stop the love you say may be your own. Let me go. I don't even know the song. I love that Michael Jackson song. I know, when you said that, stop the life you save may be your own. I love that.
The life you save.
Right. I'm gonna go to Ari to see. I want to hear from her. How are you, Ari? And what brought you on the call today? And what would you like to get from the conversation?
Okay. Well, I'm doing just okay. As usual, I have challenges, as you know, and have been aware of. But I think I did better this time, where a lot of things went wrong in the house, and I had to get them all fixed. And instead of telling everybody about it, I just went ahead and went, and took care of it, because they were all giving me the runaround, not giving me the attention that I needed and requested, because I have that home warranty insurance, right? So
Yeah.
anyway, the biggest expense was having to buy another washer machine, and that was definitely a bit expense that I wasn't expected to do. But I felt better about it. I think when you talk about the things that's going wrong all the time, it makes you more stressed out. And so I think doing it this way this time made me feel a lot better and just handling it. Thank God I had the money, and didn't have to ask nobody for it, because that adds to the stress, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. So, and then my baby got sick again this week. We had to go have labs done. And so far they're doing okay. Um, she's doing okay. So other than that, I'm again trying to just get my house in order and figure out my next move. I did talk to my mortgage company. I guess for you, Tony,
Yeah.
I haven't worked since 2014,
Mm.
and I have this last couple of years been living off my retirement money,
Mhm.
and so it's towards the end. But I have to say, as far as this call goes, I just like both of you guys' energy. I can tell that you are doing well, where you don't have that heavy burden on you, or if you are, you're just playing like or no, you're showing that it's not weighing you down. Okay.
Exactly.
And so I think that's a really good thing. And I'm excited for you, Jessica, and your love. And I'm trying to remember what I was thinking through the topics that you were discussing. And okay, I got a terrible memory, but I want to say all of them were very good. I really like um, the lean in thing for and I see it not so much for love because I ain't been dealing with nobody in years. But I do see it instead of just about love, just lean into the one priority you have right now, so that you can try to stick with resolving or doing what it is you need to do about it.
I can give you a little example because I'm sitting here, yes, and I do appear to be very balanced, and I thank God for that. But rest assured, I've come a long way. Now, I've never had the addiction to alcohol, cigarettes, or drugs, or any of that, but I had the
Mhm.
addiction to shopping, pleasing people, and sugar. Okay.
Okay.
I remember when I was 18, I moved out on my own. I bought a 5 pound bag of sugar. So I'm just moving out on my own. So in my family, my sister used to make the best freaking grape Kool-Aid with fresh lemons. Do you understand me?
Kool-Aid with lemon, no, she didn't.
Grape Kool-Aid with fresh lemon. Do you understand me? Okay.
Mm,
So when I
Woo!
got on my own,
that's
there was a
so good.
couple things I was gonna do. I'm gonna make my Kool-Aid. And my friend and I said, we're going to have milk and cookies every single night because that's how they do it on television with the white families. Do you want some cooked milk and cookies before you go to bed,
Okay,
right?
right.
So my roommate, we was like, we come, whoever get the cookies, we come to the other room, some, you want your milk and cookies? Okay, I'll bring it to you. But back to the 5 pound bag of sugar, understand, okay? So I'm
Mhm.
making my Kool-Aid. I'm making my this man. Okay, got the ice. I'm making it. When I run out, I make me some more. Okay. In a week's time or less, the sugar was gone. I'm looking around. Who the hell took my sugar? Did somebody break in here and take some of this sugar?
Oh my God.
Did I loan some sugar out? Did I? What the hell? Somebody done broke up in here. I know I ain't ate no 5 pounds worth of sugar in 1 week. Yes, the hell I did. Okay.
Mhm.
That was such a wake up
Wow.
call for me because I was just starting in to get into health and fitness because I've been in this game for a long time. And at that time, too, I also gave up red meat, which I have another story on that, but we won't get into that. But to know that I am the one that ate all of the sugar, there was no one else did it. It was me. And I said, okay, you're done, sister. And that's kind of the type of person I am. It has to be in my face, and I can't do anything but accept it. And that's what we have to do when it comes down to ridding ourselves of things. Now, my shopping addiction is the last one, and the Corona has served me well. Okay, Corona has served
Mhm.
me well. I'm not at Ross. I'm not at Burlington Coat Factory. I'm not at Marshall's. I go there every day looking just to see what I can find. Then I had a thing, but I had to buy a new comfort. I got about 30 comforters, and 20 of them have never been on my bed but one time. Okay. So when I feel a little bit stressed, I'm going to get a comforter. Okay, I'm going to get. I have had that idea about 3 times since this Corona, but I had already said before it happened, no shopping for 6 months. This has served
Mhm.
me well. I will not be shopping. And then my next topic goes into the financial health. But
Mhm.
that's some of the things. I mean, we have habits and we break them as we can. And my pastor said one time, he said, you don't judge nobody because they got one beer in their refrigerator. because you don't know where they came from. They may have came from drinking, being an alcoholic, or drugs, cigarettes, setting up the whole bar, drinking Hennessy and all that, and now they're down to one beer every now and then. So you don't know where a person comes from. So they've come a long way, and you have come an amazing long way. And you're gonna a little Pepsi every now and then, girl. Yeah, it's bad for you. But if that's all you're doing right now and all the great things that you
Amazing.
stay on that path, and you'll eventually get rid of that Pepsi.
Amazing.
Yeah, there. Thank you so much.
You're
Yeah.
welcome.
Mhm.
Thank you for sharing, Ari. That was amazing. That I can hear your commitment to your well-being. I can hear
Yes.
your commitment to your daughter, and I can hear your commitment to your health in terms of getting back on track so you could do whatever it takes to get back to work and generating, income for your household. That is amazing. And the fact that you've been able to survive on your retirement for 6 years in itself is amazing, because people don't have $6 and they can't last a week. So that is amazing that you've been able to prepare yourself and being able to sustain your household for 6 years. That is amazing.
Very amazing.
Mm.
Very amazing.
Amazing.
You need to
And
pat yourself on the back.
Mhm.
Yeah.
that is a great transition to my next topic. And who here would love to know how to fall down and get back up no matter what, especially in the love arena? Who here would love to know how to have resilience in such a way that it fills you up, it overflows, and it creates an abundance everywhere? Resilience in love is what I'm going to talk about. And the resilience in love can actually fill you up in every aspect of your life. I remember when I was divorcing, and it was a very, very dark time for me. There's a lot of stuff happening in my life. I was divorcing, I was unemployed, my house was in foreclosure, and everything around me was crumbling. Everything around me was crumbling. My world as I knew it in that moment was completely different. And I knew that things had to change. And then my brother died. So I'm like, all of this stuff just boom, hit me. And the thing that brought me through was the one takeaway that I want you to take with you, that you can walk through life with this one thing. You can walk through life and have resilience in love, have resilience in life, have resilience everywhere that's going to overflow. And this is what my friend told me. She said, Jessica, it doesn't matter how things look for you. It doesn't matter that things are falling apart. She said, you be the person you are. So you do the right thing. She said, because good is never lost. She said, good is never lost. When she said that, that lady gave me hope. And I held on to that hope. And I held on to that hope. And that hope filled me up. It overflowed. And with that hope, with that inkling of hope that me doing the right thing, being the person I am, and walking in love, and taking the hits no matter what. Whenever I fell down, I got up. I got up in hope. I said, good is never lost. Everything I've lost, I'm getting it back. Good is never lost. This is coming back to me, pressed down, shaken, and overflowing.
Mm-hmm.
That hope transformed my way of being. And the practice that I took away, I began to use that hope to get gratitude about my brother dying. I used that hope that things would not stay the same, that my life had to go up, that this would not be my reality forever. That hope gave me strength. So I was able to hold my head up, and then I found myself crawling, and then I got some more strength. I found myself getting up. I tumbled down, then next thing I found myself walking. The next thing you know, I started jogging. And all of these things started to happen in my life. I got employed. I began to celebrate my brother's life instead of his death. I began to date, and I met this wonderful man after divorce was finalized. I met this wonderful man after the divorce had been finalized, and we started a beautiful relationship because I refused to believe that my life had to be the way it was forever. I said, there's somebody out there who's going to love me. There's somebody out there who was compatible. There's somebody out there that hope gave me the wind, the breath to stand up and to keep moving and to create something more than what was around me. And I just want you guys to take that inkling of hope that I had in terms of love, because I was going to love myself and I was going to love other people no matter what was happening. And that hope translated into what you see today. Today, I lost my house, I got a house. Right? I lost my husband, I got men standing in line trying to marry me. Okay? I lost pretty much all of the money that I had. I got all that money back plus more. I walked away from a house full of furniture. I got a house full of furniture, and 90% of the stuff in my house was given to me or bought for me, or people gave me money and say, get this for your new house. I mean, I could just go on and on and on about how my life shifted because I held on to hope, knowing that things would change, and it all started with having resilience and love. I didn't allow the thing around love to get me down, to hold me down, and to make me believe everything else is impossible. And the one thing that I did every day to hold on to hope, I would say good is never lost. Good is never lost when I felt down. And that is how I got through it. And I talked way too long. Tony, it's on you.
Hey, we're just freestyling. We're having a good time today and getting some things out. Well, that was amazing, and it's such a great story, Jessica. It's a story of hope, and we have to hold on to the positive in every situation. You lost your brother. I lost I lost like five siblings. It was the 11 of us, and I lost 5. It's like every year someone was passing away, and being healthy is very important to me because one died of heart attack, two died of diabetes, and one died of hepatitis, and the other one died of pneumonia. So it's very important to me that people do the best that they can. And my one brother, he told me though, he said, Tony, I'ma live till I die, because they giving him 6 months. And he said, you know what? I know I done drank up, because he was an alcoholic. He said, I know I done drank up 2 full liquor stores full of liquor. And I had a good time when I did it. So now it's nothing to be sad about. That was my choice. But right now I'm not taking no chemotherapy. I'm not doing nothing. I'm going to live, and we're going to have fun till I'm gone. And he was just took full responsibility for the way his life was. And you couldn't feel bad for him because he was filled with so much joy up into, the last days or so. And, but my next topic is about, and he had 11 kids with an extra one by his wife's cousin. So, hey, he was drunk, okay? It was drunk. The
Right,
my
right.
cousin
Hey.
came over and said, hey, I got you. And,
Mm.
and that son actually preached his funeral.
Oh, wow.
Did not meet him until a year before he died. And he's a pastor, and he preached my brother's funeral. It was the most beautiful thing ever. And his son told him, he said, he told his son, he said, you know, when I was out there in the world and drinking, I was the best at it. Now that I'm with God, I'm the best at that. And 11 years before he died, he had stopped drinking, but the damage had already been done. But yeah, so with all these children he had, it was like, it was my responsibility to just like hold them all up. They were destroyed. He actually raised his 11 kids because the wife had problems, and he got custody of all 11 kids and raised them himself. Okay, so these kids were devastated. So I just asked God to hold me up while I hold them up, and that's what happened. And so my next topic is actually financial health. Okay, and just going back to when I was much younger, I was that happy-go-lucky. Hey, you give me a credit card. Hey, it's mine. Okay. If the credit card was for $1,000, then hey, that was, you just gave me $1,000. I'm going to get me $999 worth of stuff, you know, because I had that shopaholic thing. And filed bankruptcy once, got back on my feet again, credit wise. Put a couple funerals on my credit cards because sometimes if people don't have insurance, and credit was great, but my sister passed, she had no insurance. I put it on credit cards. And even when I was much younger, I remember charging my sister's whole wedding, one of my sister's weddings, on my American Express. So it was like happy-go-lucky, you know, just not even having any regard of what money was really about. Made a lot of money in my younger days. I used to, I trained hair designers all over the country and abroad. So I was making big money at like 22, 23 years old, and would tell my family and friends, I get paid on the 15th and the 30th. If you need anything, just let me know. Okay? And rest assured, people got used to letting me know because I also had the addiction to please people and to make people happy. Okay? In any way that I could. But as life went on, I met an amazing man, and I was letting a lot of the credit like fall off because I was like, I'm not gonna do anything. I'm just gonna let them old credit cards that was messed up. I'm just gonna wait, you know, my 10 years, 7 years or whatever, let it fall off. Well, so my guy, he's like a real stickler. I mean, like you talk about living beneath your means and just a money magnet. Just unbelievable. So he really, you know, showed me up in a lot of ways. But he was some, you know what? You need to check your credit and see what's going on with it and start to rebuild and do this and do that. And I'm like, you ain't gonna see my credit, nigga. You ain't gonna be in my business. You know what I mean? So I finally just embraced it and said, you know, this is what I have to do anyway. He's kind of pushing me a little sooner than I wanted to, but sometimes, like you said, both you guys lean in. And that was one of the things, is like lean in and push the hell through, and then you get through. So we checked it, went on, checked it all out and everything. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was. And a lot of things had dropped off. So that began my journey of rebuilding. I started rebuilding. I even had my sister, I got a Victoria's Secrets card. And my sister said to me, girl, you got a Victoria's Secret card? Let's go shopping. I'm like, no. Because we all know with credit cards, if you go over 30%, your score is going to drop. My philosophy is to stay around 20% if I use it at all. So, and pay in 20 days instead of 30 days and be ahead of it. Okay. So now I've cracked the code on how to keep my credit score well into the 700s or close to the 8s. But you cannot use the credit card as if it's your money. It's not your money. It's only to give society, banks, or whoever an idea of your character and how you handle their money in order to trust you with some real money. Because we can't, a lot of us can't go out and buy a house for cash, and we can't buy cars for cash. or whatever. But these are big things that you need credit for in order, or if you just need a loan or something to do whatever. Um, that's what credit is for, to see how well you manage someone else's money. It's not for you to go out. I'm not speaking to you guys. I'm just saying in general, to go out and spend it all up. Now, Tracy Allman, everybody knows Tracy Allman, right? Tracy says during these times, she would rather see us use the credit cards for these next few months to kind of live off of, and then pay the minimum on time every month. And then once things get back on the right track, you can just put a chunk of money on it and bring it back up, and then your score will go back up. Because she's saying if you have any cash right now, cash is gold. Keep your money in the bank and use the credit cards until we get things back on the right track. But I'm trying not to spend my money. I'm trying not to spend the credit cards. I'm just trying, because when this is all over, I am looking to buy another home for my mom and sisters and all of them. So I can't. I'm kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. But it's just so important that we are conscious of the overspending and living above our means. And you mentioned that, and it's key. And we have to just be disciplined. Just be disciplined. A lot of things we don't need. We really don't need. And I think we're finding out that we don't need all this stuff right now. And even if I went out and bought a couple outfits, who gonna see them? I ain't going nowhere. Exactly. So I might as well wear what I get, okay? Or like I've been doing, wearing my same stuff every day, wash it and work out in it. But we don't need all these things. We don't need the hair weaves. We don't need all the red bottom shoes. We don't need these expensive purses and things like that, because nobody's going to see them. Nobody cares. All we care about is getting this world back to normal, and being prepared once it is back to normal, because there's going to be a lot of fallouts from this situation once everything is opened back up. There's going to be a lot of people that won't get their jobs back, and it's going to be a lot of hardship. And my goal now is to try to put together some kind of a program where I can assist some of the younger mothers, single moms, in helping them get some of the things that they need for their household and their children to make it through till things turn around. But all I can really just lend a kind word in saying, really trust in your higher power, and keep on doing all the amazing, wonderful things that you've been doing, that you put in place to serve you well in life and serve your family well. And continue to push forward and keep focusing on those positive things. And don't let the negative get in your way, because there's negative and it's not going to change until you change it. If you don't have the power to change it, then it's not yours. You leave it up to God. He'll take care of it. But I always say that whatever we had the power to create in our lives, we have the same power to change it. We just have to wait till that process is completed. But if we had a part in it, we can have a part in changing it, and accept it ourselves that we did have a part in it, and then give the rest away. Because the part we don't have anything to do, we got to give that to God. But we can't blame anybody else for our shortcomings, because if we blame someone else, we're going to always look to them to change it. But if we accept it ourselves, we reserve the power to change it and turn it around. So I just say, accept what you do, and what you didn't do, what you didn't have anything to do with, give that to God, and just change those things in your life that you have the power to change, and be proud of yourself for all that you have changed, and knowing that if you can do that, you can do it all, and it'll all turn out right. Because let tomorrow take care of itself, and live right now in the present and all the wonderful things that are happening right now, this second in your life. And most often you'll realize that you're okay if you just be thankful for now. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Tony. We are 9 minutes over. Ari, I want to acknowledge you for coming on. Thank you so much.